Welcome to my channel. Here is beautiful Annie's story. Have you ever found yourself trapped in a world of success yet still feeling empty? Inside, this is the story of Samuel K., a tech mogul who built his empire from the ground up but couldn't escape the weight of loneliness that haunted him in the massive silent mansion he inherited despite being a self-made billionaire. Samuel's life was anything but glamorous. His family is gone. His parents passed away years ago and his brother lives halfway across the globe, too busy with his own life to visit. It's just Samuel, now his mansion, and Sophia. Sophia has been with him since the day he inherited the mansion, taking care of the estate and doing everything that needs to be done. She's not just his maid, she's the quiet, unassuming companion who knows his deepest secrets. The one person who is there for him through the long sleepless nights when he's lost in his work. Over time, an unexpected connection grows between them. They sometimes have conversations that go beyond the typical employer-employee relationship in the Simmons. Samuel doesn't just see Sophia as someone who cleans his house. She's become his confidant who understands him in ways no one else does. But despite this deep growing bond, Samuel struggles with the unspoken feelings stirring within him. He tells himself it's just loneliness, not love. After all, they come from two completely different worlds. What would it mean if he admitted the truth? Could their connection survive the gulf between their social classes? Samuel never expected Sophia to be the one to make him question everything. But sometimes life has a way of forcing us to face the truth, especially when least expected. Sophia had always been the perfect employee, organized, efficient, and professional. 4 years she had kept the mansion running smoothly, making sure everything was in place from Samuel's personal needs to the upkeep of the family estate. But lately, something had begun to stir inside her. It wasn't that she didn't care for Samuel. She did deeply. He had always been kind to her, and they shared quiet, meaningful moments. Still, the more she thought about her life, the more she felt a nagging sense that she needed to explore her dreams. The financial security was a blessing, no doubt, but with every day that passed, Sophia couldn't shake the feeling that she was living someone else's dream. Another own she had spent so many years being defined by her role as Samuel's maid, a position that, while providing for her needs, had slowly stripped her of the chance to create her own identity. Over the years, she had poured herself into acting during her free time, taking online classes, reading scripts, and practicing in front of the mirror when no one was watching. It wasn't easy. She didn't have the same resources or opportunities as others in the industry, but she had determination. She knew the odds were stacked against her, but that never stopped her from trying. One evening, after sending out a few recordings of her performances to major casting agencies, Sophia received a response. At first, she thought it was just another rejection, another form letter. But as she read through the email, her heart began to race. It was an offer, an invitation to audition for a role in another city. It wasn't just any job. It was the opportunity to do what she loved professionally on a larger scale. The offer felt like a lifeline. This could be the start of a new chapter, but as much as the offer excited her, it also brought her a deep sense of unease. Yet as she stared at the email, the path forward seemed clear as Sophia carefully folds her clothes, preparing for her departure. Samuel sits in his study, staring out the window at the sprawling estate. His mind is racing. 4 years, Sophia has been more than just a maid to him. She's been a constant presence, someone who helped keep his world grounded. They'd spent countless nights talking about everything in these quiet moments. Samuel realized something had changed inside him. What started as a soft, unspoken affection had blossomed into something far more intense. He's in love with her, but for so long, Samuel had pushed these feelings aside. He didn't want to complicate their relationship. Sophia Wash's employee, his maid, and he was the wealthy businessman she worked for. It was a clear line. The idea of crossing that line terrified him. What would she think? What would the world think? He had always kept his feelings at bay, knowing the power imbalance between them made any deeper connection seem impossible. But now, as Sophia stands at the threshold of a new life, the quiet affection has shifted. The love he feels for her isn't just a passing crush, it's something that's become woven into the fabric of who he is. With every passing hour, he realizes that if he doesn't speak up now, he might lose her forever. The following days are a blur of confusion and anxiety. Samuel is trapped in his own mind, battling between his desire to tell Sophia how he feels and the nagging fear of how she might react. He imagines all the worst-case scenarios. Sophia rejecting him, seeing him only as her employer or worse, thinking that he only sees her as someone to serve him, not as an equal. The difference in their social standing feels like an impenetrable wall. Samuel can't shake the doubt that his love, no matter how real, might never be enough to overcome the barriers they face, yet deep down, Samuel knows he can't let her leave without saying something. Every time he thinks about Sophia walking out of his life, a sharp pang of regret shoots through him. If he doesn't tell her now, it will haunt him forever. But what if it's too late? The mansion, usually alive with the sounds of bustling staff and family, now feels unnervingly still. Sophia's room is now empty, save for the neatly packed bags by the door. Tomorrow she'll leave the only life she's known for years, stepping into a future that's unknown. The weight of that thought hangs in the air, suffocating. Samuel, as he watches from a distance for the first time in a long while, Samuel feels vulnerable. His usual confidence is gone. He's struggling with the reality that in just a few hours, Sophia will no longer be a part of his life he's always been afraid to show. His feelings kept them locked inside. Night, the fear of losing her is stronger than any pride has ever held. He watches her move through the house one last time, her soft footsteps echoing in the hallway. She's so calm, so composed, arranging things around the house one more time. But Samuel can see the bittersweet glint in her eyes. She's leaving. But it's clear that part of her is torn. He can't let her go without saying what's been on his heart for years. His mind races, battling between long-held belief that his feelings for her were nothing more than a fleeting attraction, and the undeniable truth that he has, without question, fallen for her. His mind tells him he can't keep her from chasing her future, but his heart aches at the thought. Her leaving, finally unable to hold back any longer. He walks towards her room. His heart pounds as he reaches for the door. He pauses for a moment, hesitating, as he steels himself for what's about to come. When he enters, Sophia looks up, startled, but not surprised. She knew something was different tonight. She could feel the shift in his gaze. Sophia, he says, her name, but it feels like the first time he's ever truly said it. There's an edge to his voice, a vulnerability that she's never heard before. I need to tell you something. His throat tightens, but he pushes through. I love you. I've loved you for so long. The words hang in the air, and for a brief moment neither of them speaks. Sophia stares at him, her eyes wide as though she's hearing a confession she never thought would come. The emotions swirling inside her are overwhelming. She cares for him too, more than words can explain. But in the silence that follows, she feels the gravity of their years together, of the years she spent as his employee. She stands up slowly, her fingers trembling as they brush against the edge of her suit case. I love you too, she admits, her voice barely a whisper, but the confession is bittersweet, because while her feelings are real, they don't change the fact that her life, her dreams have always been beyond these walls. She looks at him, her eyes filled with a deep sadness. But Samuel, I've always been your maid, your employee. I've never been able to be more than that to you. I've been living in the shadows of your world, trying to be a part of it, but never really belonging. Her voice cracks slightly. I can't stay here. I have to go. The weight of her words hit Samuel like a freight train. He's known that she's never been fully free in this house, but hearing her say it out loud makes it real. Sophia isn't just his maid, she's a woman with her own ambitions and dreams, and those dreams can't be fulfilled in a place where she feels confined. I'm not asking you to stay here and be my maid, Samuel replies, his voice shaking with emotion. I'm asking you to stay with me, to live the life you've always wanted. You don't have to leave. I can help you chase your dreams here in my world. With me, you can be more than just my employee. Sophia, you can be everything you've ever wanted. His words are desperate pleading, as if he's offering her the world, but Sophia knows better. She knows that, no matter what Samuel offers her, her freedom, her ability to stand on her own to defeat, is something that cannot be sacrificed. She needs to go on her own terms, not as someone's lover or employee, but as the woman she's always wanted to be. Tears threaten to spill from her eyes as she looks at him, her heart breaking. In need to find myself. I need to chase my own dreams. Samuel, this isn't just about us. It's about me becoming the woman I've always wanted to be. And I can't do that. They're not like this. Her decision is final, and with a heavy heart, she takes a deep breath, turns away, and walks out of the room. Samuel stands frozen, the words left, and said hanging in the air. His chest feels hollow as he watches her walk away, each step a painful reminder of what is about to lose. As Sophia steps out of the house the next day, Samuel watches from the window, his heart breaking as he realizes that no matter how much he loves her, he failed to act in time. She's gone and she's not coming back. The sound of the front door closing echoes through the empty halls, and in the silence that follows, Samuel is left with nothing but regret after Sophia's departure. Samuel is left to grapple with the emptiness in his life. His mansion feels quiet without their presence. Sophia had always been there through late nights, working on projects, through quiet mornings. She was the one constant he could count on. But now she's gone, and her absence is undeniable. He tries to fill the gap with his work, but nothing brings the same satisfaction anymore. None of what he has can replace the warmth that Sophia brought to his life. Her departure forced him to confront a reality he had long avoided. That true fulfillment doesn't come from achievements or possessions, but from the relationships and connections we build. As the days go by, Samuel starts to reflect more on his relationship with Sophia. He realizes he never truly saw her as an equal. Despite all the time they spent together, he let pride and the divide between their social roles prevent him from opening up to her. He had always kept his distance, thinking she was just his employee, too different from him to be anything more. But now he wonders how many moments he missed, how many conversations he avoided because he was too afraid to cross the line. Samuel knows now that if you love someone, you should never wait until it's too late to tell them if they love you back. You win. But even if they don't, you still win, because at least you tried. Not saying how you feel, not being honest with someone, leaves you with nothing but regret, and regret, as is now learning, is far more painful than rejection.